Welcome back to the channel. And you're working with me, Larry Mullins. And we've got two new things that I've been waiting on for a really long time, and it's finally here. We're going to try them out. We got the ArcCaptain Mig 200, and I think it does several different functions. It'll MIG, TIG, stick weld, flux core. It'll use a spool gun. It does all kinds of stuff. It's a multi-process, I think they call it. And it's for a beginner like me or anybody out there that's just wanting to get into it. This thing is 110 or 220. And we also got the ArcCaptain Cut 50 plasma cutter, which they've got a newer model now, but this is really good and really affordable for beginners. They also running a sale right now. They're having a Black Friday sale. This is December or November that I'm filming this. So this is probably going to be a two-part video. We're going to check out the ArcCaptain Cut 50 plasma cutter. We're also going to check out the MIG 200, but I'm going to look at the MIG first. I've got an old MIG 135 from Eastwood Company that's given me fits the whole time I've had it. It's only 110. It's supposed to be a 135, but it might put out maybe 60, 70 amps, I guess, at the most. But this one will probably only put out maybe a little more than 100 on 110, I'm not sure. But I'm just going to weld sheet metal and stuff. I don't weld that much. I don't know how to weld at all. I've never owned a plasma cutter. So it's time for us to check these things out. I've got everything unboxed. And it looks like it comes with a lot of stuff. It comes with a couple of wheels. And looks like there's one wheel installed already, the drive wheel for the wire. It comes with 3 more, so there's 4 altogether. A few tips and a replacement, I guess, nozzle and shield, unless it doesn't have one. Then in the bag here, it comes with another tip, and it does have a nozzle on the gun. It comes with the, I guess they call this a stinger for arc welding. See, I don't know the terms, so you have to forgive me on that. I'm new to this. Pretty nice ground clamp. Also has your adapter to convert it from 200 to 120 volts, or 220 to 120. Has a nice, pretty good size hose for your gases. And I didn't want to talk about this right now, but one thing I did want to mention, if you've watched any videos on this Cut 50, everybody knows that it comes with a push connect fitting for the airline. And they have since listened to folks and they have changed that. It comes with a piece of maybe 1/4-inch line. It also comes with clamps, and it just has a barb fitting on the back of the plasma cutter now for your air hose. So now all you have to do is just put any kind of air fitting on the back up. So they have made a change to that in this Cut 50, which is awesome, because I've got some 1/2-inch push connect fittings, but I don't have any. I think there were 3/8, or there might have been 1/4-inch push connect. But now that they've got this with the plasma cutter, that's really all I want to say about the plasma cutter. They did make that change. We'll talk more about that when we do a review later on this, but it'll probably be a different video. Now, talking about this 200, this TIG 200, it does a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm probably not going to use any of it. I probably won't never invest in a spool gun because I don't weld aluminum. I don't weld much of anything. I do a few body panels on cars. Matt just welded some supports into his frame of his truck, and we'll do little jobs like that. Might do a little bit of fabricating. I fabricated a core support a couple of years ago with the MIG 135, and it welded just fine. But when I welded some seat brackets on with that Eastwood welder, I was welding 1/4-inch steel to make me some threaded seat brackets underneath my bucket seats in the Disco Nova, and it would only weld just a little ways in that 1/4-inch. I had it wide open, and then it would shut off. It would, I guess, fault itself out to cool because it would overheat. So I think it has a real low duty cycle, I believe, but I'm not sure exactly what the specs are. And I don't even know what duty cycle is. I guess it's the amount of time that it can operate under extreme conditions. But somebody out there will correct me, I'm sure. But I would like to get this set up. I've got I like to set this up for MIG, and it recommends a particular kind of wire, ER70S6 wire. It does not come with any wire. I do have a roll of wire. This is 023 But I don't think I'm going to weld those coupons with 023. I believe I'm going to put 030, which I have a roll of that in my MIG 135. And this thing is in metric. I think the wheels, they don't say 030 or nothing like that. They got like metric sizes on them. So I don't know what I've done with them. But you have to just kind of figure out for yourself. I think 030 wire requires like a number 8 or 8 centimeter, millimeter, whatever it is. So it takes like a 0.8 wheel, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll try to sort that out when I get ready to put the wire in it. But I'm a novice, and this is supposed to be designed for somebody that doesn't know anything about welding, that's wanting to learn. And this is the most budget-friendly welder I've found out there. There are, yes, welders, and there are other brands, but the one that gets the best reviews that I've seen are these ArcCaptains. And right now, during the sales, and they're always having a sale, and sometimes people have promo codes. I didn't get a promo code with these. I think I did get a recommend a friend coupon or something here, but you can get someone else to buy them. ArcCaptain is not involved in this video at all, but I did get the welders, and just because I believe that they got a 2-year warranty. I mean, what else can you ask for? I believe they're going to hold up. I'm going to get this set up and stop wasting time and show you what a poor welder I am. And the equipment should say it all. The equipment ought to speak for itself, or I'm just a horrible welder. But we'll find out. Something else I forgot to mention. It comes with these cool decals. There's one in each box. And they're interesting. I guess they're helmet decals or for your toolbox, but I think they're pretty cool. It does come with a little light inside there when you're setting it up, built in. That's cool. So now we've got to figure out what size metal we're welding. And I have no idea. It's 1/8 inch. And this little chart, I don't know, it ain't gauge, but let me figure it out. Okay, 1/8 inch is 11 gauge. That's 3 millimeter, and we're using mix solid core wire. So we're using 030. So we can put it on 20, I guess. Well, that didn't work. I'm going to have to think about this for a minute. I know Synergy, you're going to have to put some type of inputs in to decide what thickness your metal is. Well, there's 20. When I set it on 20, it goes to 120 amps. So that's just about wide open for this thing. So I guess on 110, it's not going to go real high. 20 amps may be too high. I'm going to see how it burns this stuff. I don't have a clue. I don't know where to start or where to take it from there. I'm trying to get it where the light's not shining on it. But I've got it in Synergy. It said if you can do manual setup on it, but I got the volts pretty much wide open here. You've got on this over here, you got a plus or minus you can use when you're setting the voltage on Synergy. Or Synergic, or I don't know what the word is, SYN, sync. I'm almost completely out of gas, so this probably ain't going to last very long. I don't have a lot of gas. Scared me a little. Doesn't sound terrible. That burned pretty good, maybe a little on the hot side. Let's try running with it a little bit. A lot of snap, crackle, and popping. I'm going too slow. It's burning fast. It's not burning in, burning fast, but not burning in. I think that's about as hot as it's going to go. That burned in. I need one of those hooks. I'm going to have to make one. I don't know where to put it, where it's going to fall. I'm going to catch it under the edge of this clamp, see if that makes any difference. If it's laying on this thin sheet metal, it may not be getting a good enough contact. But you can see it's just kind of, that one's pretty, and that's where I turned the heat up slightly. But again, I'm only using this on 110, which is probably all I'll ever use it on. But I do have some stuff coming on the way. I got a cord and a plug-in and stuff I'm going to try. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Thought my battery's about dead on the thing here. What does that say? If you have slag, you drag. If you don't, you push. That burning my arms up. Now again, I don't weld. I'm not a welder, but that sure looks hot. But it's getting better ground though. See how it's stacking up a lot better? But it's still, maybe I'm moving too slow, but it's burning. See just a little across there. So I believe this is 1/8. It may be a little thicker, but this thing, I got it wide open on that synergic mode. Let's try to weld with it on its on the preset mode. Dial-in mode. You dial it in yourself. So it should be 11 gauge 030. Can't read it. I'm going to walk around there and read it. That don't seem hot enough at all. The wire is burning too slow. So that's what it said on the thing there. But that's really slow. Yeah, look at that. That ain't gonna work. That says inches per minute. I think one of them says meters per hour, so I don't know which one's right. Still ain't fast enough. Look at that gob. Let's set it back to synergic mode. Well, let me get this wire turned up here. I think it's a little hot. But I don't know. Well, it looks better. It's getting really hot though. So the thing on the door, I'm either looking at it wrong or I've got it set up wrong, completely wrong. That looks better. It looks like it's supposed to be welding. I think it's burning like it's supposed to. It's hot. It's crispy. This is the last weld that I did. It's still kind of sticking up, but the last little bit really burned down in there. This is the ones I done where it looked like the wire feed was too slow, but I set it up based on the chart on the door, and I think some of that's from synergic mode. It was puddling up. That's the last one I turned way up on that synergic mode, and it kind of burned in. So it looks like I'm right at wide open, right at 19, and then 289. I guess that's inches per minute on that, IPM, on the wire. I like to do something flat, just weld a bead completely flat, see what that looks like. It got hotter as it went along. The heat got hotter and hotter. Let's see what it looks like on the backside. About melted through right there, so it's plenty hot enough. It gets right on the end, it gets hot. Starts, but it's burning through. If I was having to weld something structural, I think this 110 would probably do it, but we're going to try again in a week or so when I get all the electrical hooked up for the 50 amp plug. We're going to try it one more time and see what it does. But it seems to be burning. What I want to do next is I have a little dice. A little dice I'm going to try to put together. Let me get it bent up here. little dice, or die, or whatever you call it. I like to weld the edges up. I wonder how it would do. I reckon I can weld it up without destroying it. Oh, I melted it. It's too hot. I destroyed that. Yeah, I got it way too hot. Blowed a big hole out. Melted it down into the 5. Ooh, it's hot. I burned a few holes in it, but it worked out okay. I patched the holes up that I burnt. I kept turning the heat down, and I just kind of was guessing at the settings, just playing around with them. I started doing taps on it, just barely tapping these edges, and that glued them together a little bit better. It's a little crooked, but you know, it's my first attempt at making something like this. This is just a practice piece that you get. You can order these off Amazon. But I think if a person got the temperature right, they could put these corners on here and they'd be pretty. I'm gonna kind of polish it up a little bit and maybe grind some of that crap off of it. I'm a good grinder. I'm not a good welder, but I'm an excellent grinder. I've learned. But that's just what I wanted to play around with on this welder. It's still cooling down. The fan only runs when you're using it. It shuts off most of the time. And looks like I'm going to have to get a battery for this. I thought it charged itself up, but it doesn't. This is a Miller. Pretty good helmet. It's almost clear when you're looking through it. I got a bunch of these coupons, but I'm not going to fool with them much more. I'm gonna let this thing cool down. I tried to use the setting inside the door, and unless I'm doing it wrong, it's let's see, that's 030 for that 11 gauge that I was using was 20 at 11.5, and I had it on 20 at 11.5, and it wouldn't even feed no wire out. So I went to fan, it turned off. It's got a neat little light in there so you can see what you're doing. I'm just about out of gas. Almost completely out. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. I'm gonna quit with this thing, I suppose. But I wanted to bring you guys along and show you what a real novice looks like when they're trying to set up a welder. So I don't know the first thing about it. I just anytime I ever used that other welder, I just turned it on and started welding till it sounded right. You know, there's a sound. I guess it's what the professionals use, or they use the numbers, I don't know. But when it sounds good, I just run with it. So maybe I weld too hot, maybe I weld too cold, I don't know. But I've always managed to stick stuff together. I've never done anything that, I'm not doing suspension or steering or anything like that that's going to get somebody killed. I'm usually just welding little patch panels and things in. And this thing probably perfect for that. It'll be ideal for doing sheet metal like this thin metal I've got laying there. I was going to weld like some of this stuff edge to edge, and I decided I'd just play around, and I've took up enough of y'all's time. It does what it says it'll do. When I get it set up on 220, which I'm probably not going to need 220 to be honest with you. I don't do anything that's like frames or loader buckets or anything like that. So this is pretty cool, this old dice. It probably loaded if you played dice with it. But that's all I got for you guys. I'm going to, I guess, end this video on this. So next time we come back, we'll be looking at this ArcCaptain plasma cutter. That's really something that I'm interested in because I don't have any other way to cut sheet metal except grinding wheels, and you know how that goes. It puts this metal dust all over the whole entire building. It's on everything. That's what this is all over this hood where we ground Matt's truck. This is metal dust, and it's everywhere. So we definitely don't want that. But appreciate you guys hanging out, and thanks for watching my little video on the ArcCaptain 200, MiG 200. It is a multi-process welder, so it'll do anything that a beginner would want it to do. It'll stick weld. I guess that's arc welding. It'll MIG, flux core, spool gun, but you have to buy extra stuff if you want it to do. Let the pressure off that tank. You have to buy extra stuff if you want it to MIG weld, because it's got the connections for the MIG weld, but it does not come with the MIG gun. And I think it's a strike arc or whatever they call MIG. It don't have a foot pedal that they use. They got all kinds of accessories on their website. They got gloves and helmets, plus they give you free stickers. I mean, what more could you ask for? Everybody needs stickers. Turn this off. But I thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you coming and hanging out. Stay clean, everybody.